Sup, everyone? J-Bone back here. Smash this podcast. Just got done watching Raw. I really wanted to watch that special on the network, the Bruno San Martino special, but I'll probably end up watching it tomorrow and possibly do a review on that. So yeah, but I had to get on here and talk about this. Wow, what an ending to Raw tonight. Jeez Louise. I had friggin' goosebumps on my arms when I got all giddy when he started walking down a hallway towards the camera. Everybody started cheering him, and he had that look on his face like he always did when he walks down the hallway towards the ring. And then he got out there. The crowd's cheering him. And, man, Denver loved Goldberg. And, that's one thing. That's one thing as a wrestling fan that I was worried about. How would a live crowd respond to Goldberg? Would they troll him? Would they love him? Man, Denver gave Goldberg a lot of love. I mean, I personally do not think that could have went any better. It went so good that after Goldberg got in the ring, he got emotional. That was very evident. Took him a while to get started on his promo. And for a guy that's not known for promos, that was a nice comeback promo. That was straight from the heart, no BS. No complaints on it. And shout out to Paul Sweat for tweeting at me right before I did this. Said he just realized that J-Bone was Goldberg's long lost brother. That's hilarious, dude. Thank you. Say, is it close enough? Is it close enough? Yes, many moons ago, a good friend of mine who I used to work with back, almost 20 years ago. Holy crap. Almost 20 years ago now, suggested that I shave my head and do a Goldberg or Stone Cold. And he was like, hey, look at it this way. If you shave it off, you could always grow it back if you don't like it. I've let it grow out a little here and there throughout the years if I got really lazy, or sick or whatever. But I never grew my hair back out like I had it back 20-some years, almost 20 years ago. And yes, so Goldberg / Stone Cold was the inspiration for this look that I've had for many years now. So there's that on the table. Another reaction I'm going to be looking forward to checking out is Jason from New Age Insiders. His reaction to the challenge from Heyman last week was priceless. And like I've said in other shows, if you have not seen that, go check it out. It's on, I think it's on YouTube. It's on their on New Age Insiders Twitter. from last week. I can't wait to see this week. He probably had a heart attack and had to be revived. He's that big of a Goldberg fan. I'm a big Goldberg fan. He's one of my favorites. Like I said, when I started watching wrestling, WCW was it for me. No desire to watch WWF. None at all. Didn't know half the guys on there. Goldberg was it, and that's when I started watching again, was when he came back. Raven, the Flock, the NWO, all that stuff was, mega popular. And seeing this tonight, man, I got emotional. I did. I almost had to bust out my Kleenex. I had when that pyro hit, I had goosebumps. I get goosebumps from listening to old favorite tunes. Wrestling does not usually give me that kind of reaction. This return from Goldberg did, and Denver was a great help in that. Like I said, they gave him a ton of love. The Goldberg chants. Oh man, I gotta watch it back again. They gave him a bunch of different chants. They even gave a holy shit chant and didn't censor it. And that's not a first, but they usually let that go more on pay-per-views rather than shows. On shows they'll censor it. He said something as he was getting in the ring, and it sounded like they censored him, but they did not censor that crowd. That was a raw, authentic reaction from that Denver crowd, and that also gave me goosebumps. I mean, it's crazy. The whole episode was so goofy, and I've joked about not being able to stay awake for through all the way through Raws lately. Fall asleep after dinner, and I woke up last week to the Heyman promo, and told my wife, I'm like, I have got to stay awake tonight. I fell asleep for about a half an hour. Took a power nap in somewhere within the first hour. I don't think I missed much. And it was, some okay matches. It was cool that the cruiserweights, headlined with their match tonight. That was kind of cool. Fun little match. But, the way that crowd reacted, you knew they were there for Goldberg. And another interesting little thing that he said is, "You're last." Now, you immediately think that, okay, well, that means that this is one and done for Goldberg. One match. I don't know if I'm buying that. Because he's said in other interviews, I've got a lot more in me. And I'm not going to get into the whole big discussion on whether he should win or lose right now. I'm just happy he's back. And I know there's a lot of people out there that aren't. And I'm okay with that. I get that. If you're a young, and I'm not knocking younger fans, okay? All I'm saying is, if you're a younger fan, if you're in your 20s and you don't remember the Attitude Era, watching WCW Nitro, Thunder, and all that stuff back 20-some years ago, if you didn't watch that, then you're not going to get it. Now, I came in in like the middle of that and watched, I watched a lot of WCW. It wasn't until things started getting a little stale for WCW that I actually started switching channels. Watch a little Raw, watch a little Nitro, watch a little Raw, watch a little Nitro, And then obviously with the demise of WCW, no more WCW. And a couple years later, the return of Goldberg. And man, that was an exciting time back then. That really was. But Goldberg looked great tonight. He really did. He was he was sweating. Oh yeah. He probably didn't need that jacket. Probably could have come out in a muscle shirt. Could have flexed a little bit. Could have impressed some people. But basically, it was the same thing he did back when he came out and surprised The Rock. So yeah, this was no surprise. We knew he was coming, and that's okay. It just, this is a different time in wrestling than that was back then. There was email back then. There wasn't social media. Everybody live tweeting or Facebooking or YouTubing, Google Hangouting. Hangouting? Is that a word? It is now. You can call it a J-boneism. We're hangouting, right? So yeah, like I said, I got emotional. I got a little choked up. Not gonna lie. I'm happy he's back. Even if it is for one, and I've heard different opinions out there. I think it was the New Age Insiders talking about if they're smart, they'll make a rubber match out of this. Goldberg's up 1 right now. They'll give Brock Lesnar a win in the near future. They didn't say when this is going to happen. The only thing they said tonight was yes. Now, they might be announcing that while I'm doing this, and I don't know that. But that's all we know right now is that Goldberg said yes. And it's going to happen in the near future. A lot of people were talking about Survivor Series. I don't know. Is that too soon? I don't know. Hell in a Cell is 2 weeks away. Today's 17th, and Survivor Series is, give me a second. I know it's November. WWE.com. Survivor Series, here we go. It's 11/20. So so it's a month away. So, they could very well do a match at Survivor Series and put it in the middle of the Raw versus SmackDown. It would actually be really appropriate at the Raw versus SmackDown because Shane's going to be there, Steph is going to be there. Brock Lesnar attacked Shane, and I didn't think about that till just now. Yeah, I'm a little slow. I'm creeping up on that Goldberg age. He's 49, creeping up on 50. I'm 40 something. But yeah, so yeah, Goldberg's back. Lesnar's going to come out next week Say something stupid, Brock. He sure as hell is not going to cut a promo like Goldberg did tonight. Man, Goldberg was so popular tonight, you'd think he was running for president, kissing babies and stuff. No, and that's something that wrestlers do miss, is that fan reaction. And there's nothing more authentic than being out there and doing high fives and hugging fans. And fans love that shit, and fans never forget that. So yeah, Lesnar will come out with Paul next week. Paul will do an awesome promo. Shocked. Can't believe Goldberg said yes. He's going to warn Goldberg, no, you better change your mind, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll pick a date. And then they'll probably face off somewhere within the next couple weeks. I think Goldberg is set for a few dates within the next month. I didn't see which day. Obviously, it's going to be Monday. Although, how cool would it be to have him show up on SmackDown and, and actually do a storyline where he's going to be Shane McMahon's, revenge tool against Lesnar. That'd be slick. There you go, Vinnie Mac. Book it. And I know I'm not the only one that's saying that. But it makes sense, Okay, it's not like he's going to be wrestling on SmackDown. Okay, I don't expect that. Although, I don't think anybody would complain. Get a match under your belt. Take off a little ring rust. Why not? Makes sense. He's in incredible shape. Don't get me wrong. Doing Muay Thai and whatever else he's doing. But, so yeah. And it was cool that his wife and kid was out there, and he's been periscoping live the last few days, saying he's on his way to Denver in the plane or the limo or whatever they were in, getting picked up from WWE guys. The nice-looking wife, good-looking kid. Kid looks like he's about my son's age, maybe a hair older. So that was kind of cool, And I know he's doing this for his kid. So his, kid can see him in action instead of all the old, watching the network and the DVDs and whatever. So, and who was that guy next to her in the front row, next to Goldberg's wife? Was that a skinny Mr. Belding from Saved by the Bell that almost looked like him? Maybe? No, I don't know. Gosh. So, all right. So, yeah, that's going to about do it for this. I'm not going to go over the whole episode of Raw. It was a fun Raw. I heard, and I'm not going to name names out there. I know there were some people out there that say that this Raw was absolutely worthless. It was a fun Raw. There were some tag matches. You've got the Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins feud. The Cruiserweights headlined it, for crying out loud. For those of you complaining that, oh, Raw is destroying the cruiserweights. They're on every week in 1 or 2 matches. You can't do a 3-hour cruiserweight thing. Okay, seriously, that would just be ridiculous. You had 6 guys in a 6-man tag tonight, and I'm going to go back and watch it again because I was kind of, I was in Goldberg mode by that point. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a fun match. I'll watch this later. I'm gonna, get a water because I had it in my head as soon as Raw was done, I was going to go live. So I was kind of setting up here and whatever. But yeah, it was an okay Raw. Heck, we're getting we're getting a triple threat next week from Rollins, Owens, and Chris Jericho. So that feud is going to be interesting, to see the little friction between Owens and Jericho. Yeah, it's going to be a cool Hell in a Cell. I mean, if you're into that, if you're not into Hell in a Cell matches, if you're not into gimmick pay-per-views, then you're not going to like it. I've got friends out there that don't like them. They might still watch it, but they're probably going to have the reaction of and that's fine. I'm excited about this. Do I think the women are going to go jumping off the top of the Hell in a Cell like some of the rumors I've seen floating around today? No. I don't want to see that. In fact, I really don't want to see that from any of the guys. There's been so many damn injuries. I'll tell you what, though. I'd like to see a face-off in a Hell in a Cell from Goldberg and Lesnar. What better way than to put the exclamation point on that feud? Have the contract signing in the cell at Hell in a Cell. How about that? That wouldn't be bad. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty badass. Rough each other up a little bit. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Goldberg really looks in the ring. He's been working out. He's been is in ridiculous shape. He doesn't have the body mass he used to. He did 10 plus years ago. But he's doesn't have an ounce of fat on him, for crying out loud. He's working out. You can go check out live periscopes of him working out Muay Thai. And it's like a form of wrestling. It's MMA, whatever, I guess. I don't know. I don't do that stuff. If I even think about it, I hurt myself. It's like, ow. See, I can't do that. So yeah, is it going to be a slaughter like Lesnar versus Orton was, or Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose? I don't know. Loving Goldberg. That's going to be hard to watch. If all they're going to do is have Lesnar destroy him and give him a million suplexes, toss him around like a rag doll. I don't think they would do that. But then again, if Goldberg's in good enough shape, gets a big enough paycheck, maybe he's like, what the hell? That would also be pretty hard on his kid, though. That's why I'm saying do the rubber match. Have Lesnar beat him at whatever pay-per-view is coming up that they're going to book this for, and then book Goldberg versus Lesnar Part 3, and let Goldberg get one last win in the ring before he retires completely. That's how I would book it. And to me, that makes sense. Especially from the point of view from fans that watched Sting come back, lose twice, and then go in the Hall of Fame. That rubbed a lot older fans the wrong way. And like I've heard, Sting's a nice guy. He's too nice to complain about stuff like that. The fans did the complaining. He should have. I understand why he didn't become WWE champion. I get that. That's fine. I'm okay with that. He should have beat Triple H, though. But whatever. That's another discussion for another time. And I've talked about that too much already. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. Fun Raw. Great ending. Goldberg's back. And as an older wrestling fan, I'm ecstatic. We're going to see the long-awaited comeback. It's it's not Goldberg, folks. It's Goldberg. We're getting the real deal. The pyro, the smoke, the jackhammer, the spear. We're getting it. So that's it for this. Next thing I'll probably do is Lucha Underground Wednesday night. I don't know if it's going to be at its normal time, a half an hour after the show. I got some stuff going on earlier that afternoon. I'll try to get it as close to 8:30 Central Standard Time as possible with my partner in crime for that, as always, Mile High Laz. Till then, stay out of trouble. See you soon. Thanks for watching.